Hey, D.
Hey.
Hey. You ready for a little group chat?
I'm ready for a little Jack Harlow.
Well, you're in business because you're not going to be able to avoid hearing him for the next at least 2 weeks.
That's it?
Well, not avoid hearing him for the next 2 weeks. He's got a smash hit that no matter where you go, you're not escaping Jack Harlow for the next 2 weeks at least.
First class.
Sing it.
I don't know anything else.
Okay, I'll be Jag. You be what's her name? You
Fergie?
be Fergie. Yeah.
First class.
Okay, we're going to talk about Jack Harlow. We're going to talk about some old people stuff that went on over the weekend. And then we got a lot of news to talk about. Elon Musk is just at this point, it's a joke. The bags are just raining in. He's on his way to being a trillionaire. We got some stocks to talk about. We got some Farfetch investments to talk about. I didn't realize how much shit Americans return. I mean, stuff that they buy and then they return. The numbers are staggering, and we have to talk about it. We have a huge job opportunity for anyone out there trying to make 6 figures.
Woo-wee.
We got a little poll on what the teens are up to. You got to stay up on the youth. Other than Jack Harlow, what are they doing? And then we got some other great stories and topics and lists and things to go over to get you all set up for a great week. Who's ready?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Hey, D.
Hey.
It's a big weekend. We got a lot to talk about. You want to talk about old or young? There's 2 topics.
Well,
one's for the old folks, one's for the young folks.
I saw Brian Atlas post you guys were golfing.
We golfed. That's kind of in the old folks category.
Yes.
So let's start there.
I was it yesterday or today? The kids were just like going nuts, and I was like, I gotta turn on the TV, gotta find something. And it turned on, and I went to CBS, and they were playing golf, and so Dominic's like, "Oh, he missed the hole. He's bad." And so it's like some
Dom's a real jerk, huh?
He just started off, and I was like, "You want to watch this?" He's like, "No," but I left it on for 10 minutes. We watched a little bit of golf. I saw that Stifler, is that the guy's name?
Well, Scheffler, but
Scheffler.
Close. What's the guy's name from?
American Pie is Stifler.
Yeah, Stifler. Yeah. Okay, Scheffler.
So he won.
He won by a landslide.
By the way, did I not say Thursday that Tiger Woods has no chance?
You did say that.
There was an interview.
Look, he didn't have any chance. He was not even close.
Not even close. Sunday morning, I don't know. So today, we had the TV on, and there was an interview with Tiger Woods. I don't know if it was like present or if it was an old interview that they were airing on CBS, pre-airing the Masters.
Yeah.
So we watched like 15 minutes of it. It was good. Just talking about his past and his Masters history, his dad, his mom, his son. But
yeah, I mean,
he has no chance ever to win again.
I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know.
His body is just damaged. You're talking about walking, and like the thing is like when you think about older folks that have won, like a Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That guy's in the best condition of his life.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
He's just in a very different. That's why I said what I said. Just not because obviously Tiger Woods is the GOAT. Yeah. I'm obviously a jerk, but that part is just when you look at when I physically look at Tom Brady at his age, which is not far from Tiger Woods, playing the most violent sport on earth.
Yeah, which is absurd.
He looks good.
Yeah, he does.
Like his hair, his everything. It's just like, it's like he just looks.
Because he eats a fucking strawberry a day or whatever. It's because he does like all this
It's
he like kind of experimental. It's not really experimental, but type stuff where Tiger's just had surgery after surgery after surgery.
Which is wild. Put aside the golf part of it, which I know is like such a violent sport that you have to get surgeries for.
Oh man,
I understand you got a car accident and all that stuff, but like, I mean, people are talking about his back and this and that. I mean, Tom Brady is getting pummeled by Von Miller. Von Miller. I do not want Von Miller 50 feet from me. And
but he's just say, I forget, didn't it say in that, didn't it say in that like Tiger documentary that like he injured himself also like doing like Navy SEAL training or something?
Yeah, I think, that's part of the story. Yeah, by the way, I did Navy SEAL training too, and I got injured. I have scars.
You did. That's true.
Navy SEAL training, by the way, is stupid unless you're going to be a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know how bad the accident was. I mean, they're claiming that he was literally they were considering having to chop off his leg.
That's what my point is. He got obviously very injured in that accident, and it's really, really hard to come back from that.
Yeah, I just can't tell after this weekend. Here's my question is like, this is, I guess it's just part of the sport that like you got to walk. Cause like my whole thing is like, give the guy like a Segway, give him like one of those mall cop Segways. You don't got to give him a full cart, but just let him, like he even said that the playing golf part wasn't the hardest part. It was the walking. And you can't like carve out a little rule for the GOAT and give him like a Segway to cruise around on. I
don't play golf, but fuck it. Let everyone have a cart. Let them have a Mercedes. What do we care?
I know.
At the end of the day, you get rewarded for hitting the ball. Yeah. You don't get rewarded for walking.
I think it's some purity.
I see some chubsters out there playing pretty well.
Chubsters, but I don't know how they're walking. They're walking. I bet you
they're
the body types.
Cheeseburger.
If you let people take carts, the body types would change the next year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you'd have all different types of people because I feel like it's the walking.
Well, you know what? I'm all about inclusivity.
Me too. You know what?
Yeah,
me too. That's what we're trying to do here.
You want to be a big guy and just play golf? We could let you in.
I feel like if Barstool Sports started a golf tournament where you could take carts. You could, whatever, the crowd could cheer. Like, how come in basketball during a free throw, you can literally wave like pool noodles and be like, fuck you, bitch. Like, you should be able to do that when people are hitting their shot. And you should be able to take cards and you should
That's actually a great idea because, ironically enough, right before I got here, I was on Twitter and Dave Portnoy had posted, the Masters suck. This is so boring. I can't believe I watched this. Like, all this
too
stuff.
Old.
And it's just like even the on putt 17.
That's what I don't get. Are they close to them? They're close to everyone?
Yeah, there's no chance.
So you're right next to every golfer on every hole that you have to whisper?
Exactly. It's bullshit.
You should have Barstool fucking Big Cat or whatever their names are. They're the ones hosting it.
Yes.
And people are taking carts and people are screaming in the middle of your shot.
And by the way, like you take 2 shots of tequila and smack a hole in one, you get $1 million.
I mean, the one golf clip that everyone saw in the last year was the guy making a hole in one at Waste Management and everyone throwing cups and going absurd onto the course. And I'm sorry, golf, but I think we need a little bit more of that energy.
I can't believe Barstool Sports can't put together a tournament that gives the winner $10 million. Because if you give $10 million, then you can get all the top golfers in the world to participate.
I think there's like a PGA exclusivity, right? I mean, that's like that whole Saudi issue, you know? Like, I know that's very different. Well, you don't know that? Like Phil Mickelson. Jesus Christ. Phil Mickelson. The reason he wasn't in the Masters, you know any of that?
I have no idea.
Okay, so long story short, the Saudis wanted to make their own super league and pay everyone like crazy amounts of money, and they were trying to pull people from the PGA Tour. Okay. And so they approached all the biggest golfers and said, yo, come join our league. We'll pay you way more. The purses are huge. And join the Saudi Golf League. And everyone was kind of silent about it for a while. And eventually people started saying, nah, I'm going to stick with the PGA Tour. And Phil Mickelson made a comment about to me, unless I missed something, it seemed pretty harmless. But he just said, like, the reason why I've been humoring conversations with the Saudis is because it's an opportunity for us to change our arrangement with the PGA Tour. There's a lot that they do that's unfair. The players don't have a lot of say. And now we have a little bit of leverage with this other offer.
Yeah,
and he's been literally like wiped for the last like 3 months off of he hasn't showed up to one thing.
He's not allowed, or he's just.
It's a little wishy-washy. They're kind of saying like Phil will play when he wants to play, and Phil's saying I'll play when.
That sounds like a Saudi move.
It's very Saudi to make someone shut up like that. But yeah, so I think that there's a PGA. I don't think the PGA Tour would let Barstool. They'd have to start one with new people, which is the problem. Yeah. I think. So anyway, but I think the PGA Tour just completely controls golf. And that's how golf is. Tiger, I don't know. They're saying he's going to play. There's a couple more tournaments coming up that he's going to play. Who knows? I mean, he made such a recovery in a year and a half. Maybe he looks way better at the next one, but he was not quite the old Tiger.
I didn't see any of him playing, but if he's having if he had a hard time walking, like
it's tough. He had moments where like you could watch clips where you're like, damn, Tiger's Tiger. Like there he is. Yeah. But then there was a lot that like wouldn't have happened. But props to him he made the cut.
You know what the funniest thing about golf is? When the guy, like any golfer, hits the ball and then the audience is like, get in the hole. I was like, yo, this is like 500 yards away. He's not getting in the fucking hole.
Yeah. This is the thing. I think that's from Happy Gilmore, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that just stuck in like golf culture. Now, every time someone hits a shot, they scream, get in the hole.
I was like, I watched the 5 minutes I watched. This guy is like at a par 5. He has no shot. And everyone's like, get in the hole. No,
yeah. That's just what you do. Okay, so that's our old people news is that. Young people news, Jack Harlow just, played the internet perfectly when it comes to releasing a new song. So I don't know.
Why did he play the internet so well?
I'll tell you why. Because not only does Jack Harlow just play the internet well anyway, like him and Drewski, he's just part of the like TikTok-y social media culture, just cool his personality. Kids, goes and hangs out with Drake, all the stuff. He has this new song which samples Fergie, whatever the fuck the song's called. Glamorous?
Glamorous.
Okay, Glamorous. And what he did was he put up a clip of him. The classic clip of like an artist previewing their new song. They're in the studio. They kind of play a snippet of their new song coming out next Friday. He posted that clip on TikTok. And the sound, the audio of just the snippet of the song was already super viral on TikTok long before the song even came out. So everyone was saying like, this is my song for the summer. If this isn't playing at the party when I show up, I'm out of here. Like there was trends to it. There was all this stuff to it perfectly in time so that when the song actually dropped, it exploded and it's currently breaking, records. I don't know the exact records. It could be, I know that it's like the biggest single day release of single day downloads this year. But it's just absolutely.
It's number one on Spotify. So when I got in my car, normally I just play the top 50 Spotify list.
Yeah.
And number one was Jack Harlow. And I was like, this song is already number one. I thought it just came out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's interesting is, Anand was talking about the other day, like who he'd want to close out Coachella. And he said Jack Harlow.
Yeah. He probably should.
Honestly, like
I'd prefer it over at this point. I know some people might get mad. I would prefer that personally over The Weeknd.
Yeah, honestly, like
I've just seen The Weeknd a bunch of times. Like, let the guy has the energy of like all the momentum right now. Let him fucking close out.
Because like I actually think it's a big deal for music and culture, the top song going into Coachella. Because like I remember vividly when we were at Coachella years ago when Drake dropped If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Is that the album?
I think so. I remember One Dance was really big when we went to Coachella.
Oh yeah. And just like, Drake had owned so many of those moments for us, at least when we were going. And I think it's a huge deal to have the top song going into Coachella. Because Coachella, at the end of the day, it's a music moment, and that's all that matters. And I know he's not at the festival. You know, he's not performing at the thing. I'm sure he'll show up somewhere this weekend. But like,
he's not performing. Like, do you think Coachella missed that?
Coachella missed it. I think Coachella's a little arrogant. I think when it comes to rap and pop music, they're very arrogant.
You think? Like they're very like elitist almost, or
elitist? Like, oh, this is not art.
Not these new,
yeah. Like nail tech is not art. Nail tech is art.
Nail tech's art. I mean, the way he flipped the Fergie, it's really good.
It's interesting because like rap is in a weird place because a lot of like the biggest artists haven't put out music in a while, and so there isn't like and a lot of the young artists, they're constantly in controversy, so they're getting canceled. Like I was just thinking about this the other day. So we were playing like all these clean songs yesterday, and the Dua Lipa song with the baby came out. Like they literally wiped the baby off the planet.
Yeah, they did.
Like it's crazy. As in America, you could say anything against any group of people, be racist, do anything, but you cannot be homophobic.
If you're a rapper.
Yes.
Because you can't do that if you're a regular person. You can't be racist.
There's a lot of regular racists on TV. They're fine.
Well, on one Fox network. Yeah. There's one place for you.
Yeah, but
I'm saying that's what's crazier to me is that rappers say the craziest shit.
Yeah.
And he said like sucking dick in the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean,
like it wasn't even like F gay people. It was like,
Yeah, and like the poor guy's fucking wiped off the planet.
Yeah.
I didn't even think he was homophobic.
I mean, I can't tell from that comment. I think he was just saying like,
he's just talking.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get that treatment, but I'm just saying it didn't seem, he wasn't like fuck gay people or using the F word or,
Exactly. And that's my point is that when I think about like, it's so hard for artists, the younger artists to break through because they're constantly dealing with it's either violence or something they said or some shit happened, and frankly, it's like the black artist versus the white artist. Jack Harlow just gonna sail right into the top.
I mean, he's sailing. Have you seen the videos of him when he was a kid? He's like a regular like Kentucky suburban kid.
Bro, like
I listened to anywhere near the closet.
I was listening to the song on the way here, and he gave a shout out to UPS, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, he's from Kentucky. UPS is based out of Kentucky. Like he's like,
are they? Yeah.
So regular.
UPS did a post. UPS put a sticker on the back of a UPS truck that said like "proud deliverer of Jack Harlow's plaques" and posted it on Instagram.
Yeah, like
he's as safe as it gets.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're like looking for a savior for rap and you're waiting
it's Jack Harlow,
it really is. It's sad. I mean, obviously, I don't even have to tell you. It's number one on Spotify. Number one, beating like. By the way, when you look at the songs on the charts, they're all old. Like Heat Waves. Why? Because it's hot outside? Why are we still listening to Heat Wave?
Yeah, it's probably just hot on TikTok.
Stay, Justin Bieber and Kid Laroi. It's still hot.
Stay in on the charts.
Yeah, I Industry Jack Harlow. It's like Lil Nas X. It's like those are the top 4 songs, and I was like,
Jack Harlow's a good example. Like if I was starting a record label 10 years ago, I would have picked the person that I thought had the best talent. If I started a record label today, I would
pick a white guy from the Midwest.
Yeah. No, I would look for people that can have a social media presence as well. Like Jack Harlow to me is a really good testament to like people love his personality, he's funny. Like he really has a true audience, a true fan base so quickly because they like him as a person.
I think that's him and Lil Nas X. They're so good on social media that they're the 2 biggest stars.
And they are. And look at them. They're the 2 biggest. Like, I think Jack Harlow, it's easy to say now, but I think he'll be around for a very long time. I think there's going to be like a first class remix with Drake. Like, he's going to get the Drake treatment. Like people genuinely, he has rabid fans already. And it happened relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Because he knows how to use social media well. It's so important.
It's crazy.
First class. Props to Fergie. I mean, she's probably catching a check, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure all the money from the song is going to her.
Yeah, I mean, imagine Fergie just accidentally, all right, yeah, and then
I'm relevant. Well, Fergie will probably hop on and do a version too. Why not?
Or come out at some of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Harlow Fergie should have closed out Coachella.
Wow, Fergie. I've seen her live. Very entertaining.
She's a performer.
I mean, Black Eyed Peas. You know,
they had a
run.
Were
big. They were very big.
Huge.
Okay,
what do you think about some news?
Let's do it. Drama, are you drinking these days?
Not much, right? Man. I got to be honest. But not because of any sort of like health choice or anything. I just
a lot of protein
for so long. A lot of protein. But you know, at the right times. At the right times, I still
maybe a margarita.
Of course, you know I love a good margarita. Maybe even tequila on the rocks. I picked that up from you.
Oh wow! Yeah, I feel like you'll dabble in a little margarita, tequila on the rocks.
100%.
We gotta get you some Lo Ciento, which is available now in 39 states.
I would love
available at all the H-Word properties. And if you follow Pete, he will give you a 25% discount code, but the code itself says 20. Group chat 20.
That's so Pete. Are you serious?
Yes.
That's the thing. If you follow Pete, what's Pete's thing you got to follow? Instagram?
Yeah, your boy Pete is promoting a 25% discount code, but the code itself says group chat 20. So if you go to locientotequila.com,
great.
Pete, after all this time, the Doge, the this, he can't add. He can't read.
No, he can't even copy and paste. Pete, come on, man. Oh, that's great. Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, good for him. So thank you, Pete. Thanks for the discount. And thanks for at least going the other way. Like at least you didn't go 15% with the code 20. So he might get in trouble for that code. But
oh my God.
Yeah, that's great.
Pete. Unbelievable.
Pete. All right. Well, get yourself some Lo Ciento. Drink it on the rocks, blend it up in a marg, just like I do every now and then on very special occasions.
Once a month.
Once a month. All right. Let's get back into the episode. You know what's bigger than the Black Eyed Peas ever were? Elon Musk's bank account.
Jesus.
Woo! Let's talk about it. You know what? I think there's been a couple times on this podcast that I've stuck up for Elon and said I don't know why people hate on Elon, and I'm just going to take that all back because the proof is in the numbers. The numbers don't lie. So you can try to bring Elon down all you want. The guy just skyrocketed on the net worth charts.
Jack Harlow's like number one in the charts.
Yeah, he's the Jack Harlow of the Forbes list. What's going on?
So, Elon's been the richest person. His wealth peaked in November at $340 billion.
How long has he been ahead of Jeff Bezos?
A while.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he's officially $100 billion richer than Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos with 183. Bernard Arnault is worth 167. Bill Gates 134. Warren Buffett 127.
And Elon's where?
282.
Oh my God. Damn. So to him, Jeff Bezos is broke.
Everyone is.
Damn. And that's Tesla stock? What's mainly fueling
Tesla
that?
stock.
And Tesla stock splitting again?
Tesla,
add another 100 billion?
Exactly. I mean, what Tesla is doing, and then you have SpaceX. SpaceX will go public, and when it goes public,
he's going to be a trillionaire.
He's 100%. Because, let's just say conservatively, by the end of the year, he's worth 250 to 300 billion. He is going to 3x easily in the next 5 to 10 years.
Do you think we will let him? Do you think the people will let him get to $1 trillion?
Yeah, I think if put aside the government and just people that hate rich people, I think general population globally thinks Elon Musk is a hero.
You think so?
Yeah, I think If you were to pull, I mean, I go by just by the car and the way people treat the Tesla car. Yeah. I'll be walking around and I'll see people in a Tesla hat.
Yeah, it's true. A lot.
And they don't even have the fucking car.
Hell no. Hat's way cheaper. Yeah, I think, I hope you're right, because I don't really see any reason why we shouldn't, but I just wonder if, like, you know, there's kind of like the crew of like billionaire haters, and the word billionaire is like, oh, because you're a billionaire. Like it's a title. He's gonna be what are you going to do when the guy's a trillionaire? You're just going to fucking implode?
Yeah, I think, I don't think there's anything stopping it at this point. Like, even he posted on Twitter yesterday. He said, what happens if we drop the W?
Titter?
Yeah.
Did he? Yeah. He's killing it on this Twitter thing, man.
And it drives everyone nuts. It just drives people crazy, but it's fun. He's just having fun. Like at the end of the day,
jumped. Go ahead. Go.
I think there's this problem with just specifically America right now. I mean, I don't know how it is in Europe and Asia and things like that. Everyone takes everything so seriously. Yeah. Some things are just stupid and it should be a joke.
Like Titter.
And yeah, Titter.
Yeah.
How many followers you have in Titter?
Today?
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta check. haven't titted in a while.
See, how much better would it be if Twitter was Titter?
Haven't shown a tit. That's what it should be called when you tweet. It should be called showing a tit.
You got some tits today?
Yeah, I got a lot of tits today. Let me get through them all. Yeah, he's just crushing it. Like, I think we've seen how brilliant he is on marketing for his brands, but then to jump in and pull this Twitter move and just be on fire. I mean, the guy just
and I think
when it comes to awareness.
Look, I think he's gonna get a lot of backlash. I already saw a lot of like women getting upset like when he said it, and
Titter?
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, like I'll give you an example. You know, in France, Macron is in a runoff for the presidency with a far right wing candidate.
Really?
And yes, and that's France. And France is like pretty fucking socialist.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see what happens at the midterm election in November here, but I think it's gonna be a rude awakening for folks if the Republicans win the House, win the Senate.
That's for sure gonna happen.
Right? Yeah, if that happens and the presidency looks like it's potentially going the other way, then everyone has to make a choice. If you're going to continue on this path of like just commenting and feeling offended on everything, you may lose power. And if you're willing to lose power over it, that's your choice. But I don't think the powers that be want to lose any power. No. They're going to have to come in the middle and be like, drop the fucking W, Elon. We're all in it.
Let's roll. You know what? We talked about it. Let's roll on the titter.
Yeah. Like Joe Biden needs to come out, honestly, to save the Democratic Party. He's like, drop the fucking W, Elon.
You know what? Drop it, Elon. Instead, this guy won't even acknowledge him. It's just, I don't know. It just feels to me like this might go away or reduce a lot, but he's on like, he has a roll going, a momentum going that you just, I don't think you should try to throw yourself in front of. You might as well get with it and try to figure out how to.
Yeah, if I was a politician, exactly. If I was a politician, I would jump on the Elon Musk train. To me, he feels unstoppable.
We should be celebrating this guy.
It is the biggest asset for American culture. Like when you think about what is America good at, we're incredible at exporting culture. Elon Musk is an American business person.
But think about this. What we're really good at is allowing a place for you to come from other countries, create the impossible, and then export it all over the world. That's America in 2022. And he's the epitome of it.
Yeah. Goddamn hero.
God damn it. All right. Well, we're back to supporting Elon again. Shit. We're going to get some hate for this one. All right. Next up, what's going on over at Robinhood? I'm like, Robinhood is just has an anchor tied to its foot and has been thrown in the ocean. And it's just sinking like a fucking brick. What's going on? I mean, do you have any? You don't have any Robinhood stock, obviously, right?
I don't have any stock. I mean, before they went public, I was convinced they would fire the CEO Vlad and use him as a scapegoat to save the stock. They kept him as CEO, and the company has completely lost its momentum, mainly because the activity of trading has plummeted on crypto specifically Doge, which is a big part of their business. Yeah. And when you look at their company, the crypto side of their business is where they're making the most money, but equity trading is weak. Like where Robinhood, in my opinion, missed the boat, like they're reckless anyways. You should have launched an NFT platform fucking 6 months ago.
Yeah. They're working on one, right? Or no?
I haven't heard anything. Yeah, Coinbase definitely is. But like Robinhood should have been launching NFTs. And like the crypto world went from trading crypto daily to trading NFTs. And that world just moves fast, and Robinhood didn't move fast enough. Yeah. And equities is just not interesting enough. Equities is not 7 days a week. Equities is not 24 hours a day. And, you know, the stock market is down now. And most people probably got creamed on their options. And the company is supposed to lose like $600 million next year. So I think it's in a tough spot. And with everything that's happening with the market, like the people that trade on Robinhood are probably lost their ass and lost their interest.
You know what else I would do if I were them is I would pay Dave Portnoy whatever it takes to do a daily show. Because I really, really believe that Davey Day Trader and that whole thing that happened at the beginning of COVID really encouraged people to hop on Robinhood.
Yeah, I think like the marketing side of Robinhood, which we've never seen before in, you know, finance, is can you integrate with pop culture? Like, sure, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Ledger, they all sponsor like the big events that are happening, but like really get in the weeds, like with a Dave Portnoy, and say, Dave Portnoy is now the face of Robinhood. I think that would work 100%.
Yeah, or at least if he's doing a show a couple times a week or every weekday or whatever, sponsored by Robinhood, where he's trading on Robinhood and just being him and losing and whatever the fuck he does. But like, I really feel like he started the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then crypto happened. Then, you know, like it kind of snowballed a little bit, and then I think they lost it. But I think he sparked the whole thing. Because remember, he was also didn't he interview Vlad when the whole GameStop thing happened? And like, he was so like in that whole culture of what Robinhood was, you know?
I don't know. It's going to be tough, but Goldman Sachs says sell the stock.
I mean, thanks now, Goldman. We're down 84%. Thank you.
After you lose all your money, Goldman Sachs comes and says, you know what? It's a good idea. You should sell it now.
You should get rid of this.
Why you tell us that fucking a year ago, Goldman?
Oh my God. Who's the gold man I need to talk to? How about this? This was really interesting to me. Farfetch is investing $200 million into the Neiman Marcus group. And I got to be honest, it seems to me like 5 years ago or something, this headline should have been reversed. Mm-hmm. Neiman Marcus is investing in Farfetch. But it seems like we're now on the other side of that, where now Farfetch is investing in the Neiman Marcus group to help them, it sounds like, take their business a little more digital and kind of get with the times. Really interesting.
Yeah. So Neiman Marcus also owns Bergdorf Goodman, which is like an iconic New York department store. So I think they're going to help them get online, help Neiman's, which has been like a struggling business for a very long time. Even considering how hot luxury is, for some reason, like Neiman's and Saks and Barney's, like I don't know. I think the biggest part of their businesses that they missed is they didn't embrace like youth culture and how important it was in luxury.
Yeah.
And so the internet kind of became the place where these brands won, and the retailers just suffered. And so Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf Goodman, this is great because I think Farfetch will eventually just buy the business. I mean, $200 million minority stake. Let's just assume that means that's 25%. So that's like $800 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well buy it. Like, Farfetch should own Neiman's. Why not? It's easy.
Yeah. This is pretty wild to me. It's pretty wild that like we talked about a lot of these people that didn't like get with the, the trend. And by trend, I mean like e-com as a whole, really, or digital or any of that. And now we're like so far past it. Like they just never got with it. There's so many of these people that just never hopped on the wagon. And it just feels to me like it could have been such an easy pivot at one point.
Yeah.
And you just let it completely pass.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, good for Farfetch. Here's a fun stat in this next story that I didn't know is that there were more dollars worth of returns, returns of goods last year in the US than the total national defense budget. We returned 700, what's the number?
$761 billion.
And $61 billion worth of merchandise or whatever you want to call it every year. And we're going up. Yep. Obviously, they don't disclose the exact number, but one of the biggest places where a lot of that merchandise is getting returned to is Amazon. So I never even thought about that. I never thought about like the size of Amazon and how much product they must be, getting back. It by these estimates, I think it put it at like 80 billion or something like absurd, like just by a complete guess. What do they do?
So this problem is called reverse logistics. Mm-hmm. So it's when goods are returned, what do you do with them? And Amazon recently told CNBC it sends no items to landfills, but relies on energy recovery as a last resort. So if they can't re-enter the goods back onto sale, maybe liquidated to a wholesaler, the last resort is energy recovery. So this is what this means. Energy recovery means you burn something to produce heat, to produce energy, and you rationalize the disposal of goods as conversion from one matter to another. I think they're just burning that shit and calling that.
Yeah, there's a smokestack somewhere.
Yeah. I'm calling bullshit.
I don't know, man. It just seems a little... we're talking about too much product.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what like the big problem is that shoppers are... because of all the subsidies by venture capitalists with free returns and free shipping, consumers are very comfortable with returning. And I mean, I'm out of our warehouse 2-3 days a week, and I'll go look at the return pile. And for shoes, it's like people that have like walked in the shoes. They went to a club and returned it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, you fucking asshole? Like, if you're one of those people, you should be in jail.
Yeah, and
lock them up.
Return policies. Yeah, like you can't be like too strict with those these days. You got to take those. You got to take those.
Exactly. And so, what are we supposed to do with that shoe? So we figured out ways to like do sales that get rid of some of it. Let's say 50%, 60% of it. Then there's the last piece of it. And it is now the burden of the retailer, the brand, to be sustainable with their excess. Yeah. And a lot of brands in the past have burned goods, have donated goods, and Amazon is saying that they've built a network of charities. My preference is to donate the goods. Yeah. But even when that happens, you're not 100% sure that the goods are getting to a person that needs them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know.
And we're just talking about, I mean, I literally just drawed my conclusion from them saying, because they don't know. So Amazon doesn't disclose how much they have, and they won't. But Amazon did 469 billion of net sales last year. The average rate of return in general for online stores is 21%. So you're talking almost 100 billion of stuff.
Just chilling.
And there's just no way, man. You're not donating all that to charity. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
You're pulling my leg. I don't know. All right, well, we'll see. I'm sure at some point either it'll get fixed or someone will have an article on it that we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that Walmart is looking to pay up to $110,000 a year for long haul drivers?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of shortage in the trucking industry, and Walmart has offering salaries up to $110,000 in the first year, with the ability to earn more based on tenure and location. They are also willing to pay for a 3-month training program for supply chain associates in Delaware and Texas to earn commercial driver license and become Walmart drivers.
It's got to be a pretty tough gig. I mean, 110,000 is a lot of money, but I don't know.
Previously, the average driver at Walmart made $87,000. This is a huge jump.
It's a huge, yeah. That's average driver too, and this is like starting salary now.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, what are the do you drive for like 5 days and then you have like weekends? Like, how does this work? Do you have any idea how long haul driver hours work?
They're pretty insane. I spoke to someone who did it. Was like, it's like that. It's like days on end and then a break, and then days on end and then a break.
That's gnarly. Has to be one of the most unhealthy jobs. You're just sitting in a closed, like, you get no movement. You get no.
What are you doing in an office?
Walking. I gotta walk. I got a treadmill under my standing desk. Come on.
Nobody's doing that.
I'm kidding. I'm not doing that either. I don't know. It just seems miserable. But 110,000 seems like a lot of money. I mean,
if I was a young person, why not do it for like 3 years? And stack a bunch of chips. By the way, if you're on the road for
NFTs,
yeah, you could do that on the phone.
Rich. Yeah, you could. You could just have your little trading desk, like on your
you could
iPhone
literally
mounts.
Call your homie. He was like, you know what, Trent? I got $110,000. Transfer some ETH right now.
Put that into Doge. Let's fucking go to the moon, Trent.
Trent. That's a good truck driver name.
Okay, well, 110,000. I have to believe they'll get some signups.
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the thing: is like at the end of the day, like people complain about how much money they make. You want to make $110,000 a year. It's a lot of money. Drive a fucking truck.
I get it. I hear you. I hear both sides. Because it sounds
find
fucking
people on both
miserable.
sides.
And then you see, Iron Man, Tony Stark, Elon Musk over here. Your whole job's going to be irrelevant in like 3 years. This guy's on you. He's getting to $1 trillion, and he's going to have fucking robot semis cruising up and down every highway. Okay, we got some good lists about. Well, we got two good kind of lists. One's a poll or a poll. Would you call it a poll?
Yeah.
Okay, let's call it a poll. Poll on teens and what they're into, what they're worried about, what they're buying, stuff like that. We got some really interesting information. I will say two things that stood out to me is they are super worried about Ukraine. So that's great. Not so worried about COVID, not surprised by that. And then the other thing to me that was surprising is it didn't seem very warm on like the metaverse.
No.
Those were my two takeaways. What do you see?
So it said 71% of teens reported to Piper Sandler, who took the survey, that they believe the U.S. economy is getting worse, up from 56%.
Yeah, because they see their Robinhoods. They're like, well, obviously, it's red.
The top issues were Ukraine, environment, racial equality, gas prices, and inflation. But even Ukraine was only like 13%. Environment was only 11%. Racial equality was only 10%. Gas was only 10%. So there wasn't a noticeable kind of thing that they're concerned about.
Yeah.
Nike is the number one favorite clothing brand among teens. Amazon is number 2.
Thought it would be Shein.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at the numbers, Shein should be number 1, but ranks 7th.
I think it's also like they probably like Nike as a brand better, but they,
yeah, they can only afford Shein.
Yeah, I think it's fine to like Nike and Lululemon. I mean, so expensive taste still.
Yeah, 26% of teens reported they own some sort of virtual reality device.
26%, like a VR headset. What else is there other than a VR headset?
I think it's like, they're on Roblox or Decentraland. I don't know if they actually own the device or they're just saying they participate in it.
Got it.
What's funny is like they're complaining about like gloom and doom, and they're like, oh, but I still got to get my Jordans or Air Force Ones.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's how, if you had to guess, like by a percentage, how accurate do you think those type of polls are? Like, if 100% is obviously perfectly accurate,
I would say 75.
Yeah, that's fair. That's what I was gonna think too.
Like I think like it's a general general gauge of how young people, exactly, of how they're talking, but I don't know. I think
no,
people,
it's good. It's not wrong, like bad information. I'm just always curious, like how accurate these things are.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? The 10 best and worst states to work from home. We got it for you, ladies and gents. It seemed like at our live show, people really they were with us on the list thing. I could see faces light up when I said we had a list.
Yeah.
What do we got?
The 10 best states for working from home. Number 1, New Jersey.
Bullshit. That's weird. I would think Florida.
Florida's not on the list.
Florida, you have weather, taxes.
Why
New Jersey? Because you're close to the city?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe it's a function of, it's got to be a function of New York City. Like most of those people are employed by companies in New York City.
Yeah.
And instead of dealing with traffic or the train or whatever it is, you get to work from New Jersey.
That's fair. You can go in.
DC, I guess, is the same. Delaware, I mean, no one knows where Delaware is.
Literally, no idea.
Connecticut is a New York City thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Massachusetts.
Same.
I don't know. What are they doing?
Same idea. I mean, what? Yeah. You're around Boston.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. It seems like if I was working from home, I would want low taxes and nice weather.
The worst states: Alaska, Mississippi, Montana, North Dakota, Arkansas.
I think someone just took out their.
I mean, that's just the worst states, period. Yeah, it's just like there's no no one's like, oh, I can't wait to go to Mississippi.
Yeah, like damn,
start my fucking SaaS company.
I have to change my relocation plans to Alaska. I didn't realize it was so bad.
Alaska's dark. Literally, it's dark. There's no sun.
Literally, 24/7. Okay, well, listen. I wouldn't say those are certified group chat approved answers.
Yeah,
it's fine if you live in New York. Other than that, it's a little faulty. Okay. We also have an article about kind of highlighting this is something that maybe the whole world doesn't really know about. I feel like because of the world that we live in, we're kind of more aware of these things, but kind of the crazy outlandish world of private shows. Like if you're an entertainer, if you're a really big performer, you're Drake, the huge market that there is for private shows.
Yeah.
What do we got? I saw a little Jennifer Lopez highlight. She's still raking in the bags.
Yeah, and we've heard all these stories from people over the years. Just the random foreign billionaire that just pays enormous amounts of money. So Rolling Stones did a whole article. And one of the examples they used was Jennifer Lopez in 2014 in Macau was paid $1.25 million to celebrate the birthday of a relative of a wealthy Chinese family. $500,000 for airfare and hotel.
Yeah.
And, probably took 30 minutes.
Like,
and there's so much of that.
That's Jennifer Lopez. Like, we're not talking about Drake. I know Jennifer Lopez is great, but like, get with the times.
I mean, they're talking about Harlow. Ricky Martin still getting $500,000.
That's great. Good for them. It's like if you get to that level at one point in your life, I feel like you can just live off of that random shit forever.
If you had either a big enough song or a big enough album, I think you're good basically for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a big, big song that I'm sure the Gangnam Style guy is still getting paid.
Bags. He probably had his record year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he just goes out, he does his Gangnam Style, makes a few $1 million.
Yeah, just does this.
I was really thinking, what was the dance?
Thank you, sir. Here's $3 million. Go ahead. We'll see you later. Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, J-Lo, man, I love J-Lo. I'm not hating on her, but if I was gonna, if I had a $2 million budget, because they're talking about her travel was insane. The whole thing was absurd. I don't know that I'm going J-Lo.
If I'm spending $2 million, I would go Drake,
Bruno
Mars. Yes, definitely.
No. We don't talk about Bruno.
No, definitely not those guys. That I would $50 for them. I would go Fleetwood Mac.
Who's your first Drake?
Yeah, I would go Drake.
Fleetwood Mac,
Bruno
Eagles.
Mars, Eagles, Killers, Coldplay.
You're going big. You want Hollywood Bowl. You want.
Yeah. I want the full fucking band.
Yeah. Got it.
Honestly, because I've seen him live, and I think he's probably one of the best live entertainers. Snoop Dogg.
Really?
He's incredible live. Because my friends are old.
Yeah, that's true. They are.
You drop a Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, classic. What about Eminem?
It's a little dark.
Yeah, it's fair.
He's not like a birthday vibe guy.
Yeah.
By the way, you know what I was thinking about Eminem? I was watching We Crashed, and I was just talking to a bunch of people that started businesses. We Crashed and Adam Newman is 8 Mile for tech founders.
Adam Newman is 8 Mile. Why? Explain. Just give me a little bit more.
When I think of Lose
Yourself,
it's a
motivational story.
Yeah. When you think about Lose Yourself is the song for a generation to get amped.
Yeah.
I think tech founders are watching We Crashed before they go do a pitch and be like,
yeah. I think it's definitely a show that they don't
Mom
see,
spaghetti.
A lot of people don't see as a failure. They ignore the crash part.
Oh yeah.
It's an inspirational show.
Yes, I actually don't think I'm looking at it pretty objectively, and I'm obviously disgusted with what he did, and him and his wife. I think they're terrible people, but I think most people are walking away and
that's how you do it.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Sign me up. Okay, well, here's our last thing to send us out. I just saw a video on TikTok which is weird.
You saw the video.
Is this the video? So it's weird to me. I just thought about this. It's weird that I saw it on TikTok because this should have been taken down. But in Shanghai, they are on a full lockdown. So COVID, China took the other route that we did. We kind of stumbled. We pretended like we weren't going to, and then so herd immunity. China tried to go like the zero COVID route. And so they've now had, some little creep ups of cases, and they're just going super hard to try to lock it all down. So they're full lockdown in Shanghai. They are on like, you cannot leave your apartment. People haven't left their apartment, it looks like, for over a week. There's this video going around of people all like just yelling, like literally yelling. Like it's a bunch of buildings, residential buildings, and people are just yelling out of their windows, just miserable. And it seems like it's actually pretty like serious. The video looks a little almost silly, but it sounds like it's getting pretty serious.
26 million people live in Shanghai, and the streets are empty. I've walked those streets probably a dozen times. It is so fucking crowded. The traffic, you can't even go like 5 miles without traffic.
Yeah.
And I'm following a guy on Twitter that's an American that lives there, that is talking about his race to order food from the delivery apps every morning, and that everything is sold out. He can't get food. And then it's like the community in the apartment complex kind of is sharing the food. It is batshit crazy.
Literally.
When I leave my house in LA, I haven't heard the word COVID in fucking 2 months.
Yeah.
And
it's wild.
They said they have 21,000 cases yesterday in China. And I'm sorry, like, this shit's over.
But think about it.
This is government manipulation.
Immunity. Like, they have no fucking antibodies. So they're like literally stuck in the past.
I understand that, but I don't even think it's all that. As far as I'm concerned, it's about Chinese government controlling their population and keeping them scared. I would be shocked if you walked around China, given what I know about China, and people are fucking scared about COVID. No chance. No chance that they're scared.
I wonder. You might be right.
You think like the person walking around like in Guangzhou like is scared of COVID?
I don't know, but who knows? Yeah, who knows what they're being told?
Gray skies. And that's my point. Like, I do believe they're being told that it is the scary disease and everything, blah 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 blah. And I get that, but I mean, this is a joke. I think
it just seems like as a country, it could like handicap them. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to do this forever? You're always going to be susceptible.
Yeah, and we saw I saw the video of everyone screaming and saying what's going on and blah blah blah. But like, I always believed a few years ago, I thought the people of China would revolt against the government, and that's what would change this whole path that we're on right now. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is as big of a revolt as it gets, and I think the government steps in, and if you don't shut up and whatever, wear a mask, dribble, whatever it is, like, you're toast, and they'll wipe you out. They're wiping out the wealthiest people in the country, and these aren't like 100 millionaires. These are multi tens of billionaires that are wiped out from Chinese culture. So what is it for them to wipe out a city of people that are complaining? They don't give a fuck.
It just seems to me if people don't revolt in the next like month, it's never happening.
Never. I agree.
Like, I was watching that video and I'm like, okay, so they do care. Like, they aren't just sitting and obeying quietly. Yeah. Like, they do. There's something, but there's a long way from screaming out of your window to revolting. Because it didn't sound. I don't know. I obviously couldn't understand what everyone was saying, but some of it sound like they were like.
You don't speak Chinese?
I haven't started my lessons yet.
Damn,
preparing for the takeover.
Damn racist.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm judging this completely wrong. It seemed like they were like having a little fun with it. Like, it didn't seem like dire, desperate. It just didn't seem like revolt energy to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, because big revolt energy will get you fucking wiped from that country. Yeah. It's got to be like, let's test it out and see what happens. The thing is like, I'm really curious because like I work with a lot of people in China, and for their sake, I never ask them what their thoughts are and how they feel, because I don't want to put them in a situation where they say something that gets them in trouble. But I don't know if they feel the same way. I actually think they think the government is protecting them. That's my honest opinion. Whereas here, it's like, my body, my mask.
Yeah,
I'll fucking shoot you. Mm-hmm. I'll shoot you if you make me wear a mask.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, there is no way. You said this a
COVID
couple weeks
is done.
ago.
Like when someone, I mean, the fact that even in LA, like indoor, there's no COVID restrictions, there's no vaccination, anything. Like the COVID should be banned in America, the word, because it doesn't fucking matter.
I like that. You should, yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like if you're wearing a mask, that is your issue, but no one else gives a fuck. That's reality.
Yeah. You should post that on your social media and just get the
see what happens.
Get the wheels turning.
I'll pass on that. I like my little world of this feels like my our version of China. It's a closed community.
Yeah.
People aren't going to revolt.
It's very true. Okay, well that's all we got. Shout out to everyone who came to our live show. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's our little China there. No one's revolting. China.
Yeah, they say, he's an idiot, but they're not gonna, arrest me.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good to see. There's something different. Like you said this at the show. Like we've recorded essentially just laughing at each other for the last 2 years, and there's something about when you can see people's reactions that you learn a lot.
Yeah.
You learn like, oh, this is something, or this is boring, or people like when we do the lists, or people, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So shout out to
we got to do a bigger one now. We're ready to do a big one.
Ready for the big stage.
Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, that's fair. Good acoustics. Okay, everyone have a great week. Anything we missed?
It's Coachella week, so my suggestions are get your outfits ready and starve.
Yeah. Starve, huh?
Yeah. I try to do one meal with no bread. I was starving.
Yeah, it's tough.
Starving.
It's not good for Coachella prep.
No. I literally was like, you know what? I'm going to eat healthy this week. I try to do one meal. I wake up starving. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's funny. I started doing meal delivery a few weeks ago, and it's all like relatively, pretty healthy stuff. And same thing. I eat one, and like 30 minutes later, I'm hungry again.
So they give you a snack?
There's little snacks, but not like if I actually ate just what was allotted for me in the day, no shot. I'm starving.
Yeah, but you don't even need to lose weight.
Well, that's the point, is it's like protein heavy stuff, like to try to actually build muscle. But it's just when you let go of the bread and all the extra shit, you are just starving, apparently. I don't know. It's my first rodeo.
I mean, today, like, I had went in the weekend thinking I was healthy. This morning, I split an everything bagel with my kid.
Yeah, now we're
lunch,
talking.
I had naan, samosas, Indian food. Evening, I had like a pupusa. Like,
fuck it. And you were full as can be.
And I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm a happier person, fat.
Yeah, I like it. I'm happier when you're fat too. Okay, everyone have a great week. We will see you Tuesday.